Welcome to the Strand's #1 podcast about everything sports. Featuring King's College London's finest part student, rapper, and podcast host. The Ball Till We Die podcast with Hugoman.
Man, she dumb, she don't think. Making decisions just for us and sadly she don't blink. She thinks she's sway, she finished, she done things right. She just made these things complicated. She could take all day and all night.
What's up, family? Welcome back to another episode of your favorite podcast, man, Ball Till We Die with Hugoman. And before I start with our podcast, I just want to apologize first because I missed out last week's episode because I had some personal things that I had to take care of, back home. And I had to, go and fly out. I couldn't do any of these videos, but, I made sure as soon as I came back to the UK, bro, that I was going to drop videos. And actually, yesterday I dropped a video about Erling Haaland. It's not blowing. It's probably my second video that's sort of blowing up, but I sort of effed up the algorithm in TikTok, so it didn't really blow up as much as I wanted it to. It got like about 800 views. It was popping up. It was about 700 in like 2 minutes, but like, man effed it up. I put out a comment that sort of like disclaimer or like said a warning as to what I was trying to say, and sort of effed up everything. So sorry for that. It could have been different. Could have blown up. Could have probably made thousands more views. But hey, at least it's still doing numbers in Instagram. Still popping up right now. Probably my biggest video yet, and it was a controversial take on obviously Erling Haaland and Messi. Messi winning the Ballon d'Or. Congrats to him. By that many votes though, and I sort of said that he's the prince of FIFA. So I obviously didn't agree with that. I obviously said he was the prince of FIFA, and I didn't agree with him winning. But obviously a lot of people did agree with that, and a lot of Messi bandwagons are against me right now. So apologies for that, okay? But I stick to my word. Now, I'm going to have this new segment in the episode. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to have a lot of new things going on. So, welcome back, family, to another episode of Ball Till We Die podcast. I apologize because I couldn't make a video last week. I had some personal things that I got to take care of, so I couldn't do any content for the last week. But guess what? As soon as I landed back here, I was already ready to post some content all for y'all, man. So hope y'all enjoy it. I did post one, I think yesterday was about Messi, and things sort of got almost out of spiral until I posted out a comment, so the video stopped blowing up. But I was getting destroyed, man, on TikTok. People calling me zero ball knowledge and stuff like that. Look, listen, man, it's not about ball knowledge. I know my ball knowledge, bro. I know Haaland won records. That's what I know. I know Haaland did numbers. That's what I know. And if you're talking about ball knowledge, ball knowledge is about numbers and knowing what exactly that means. Okay, he might not be FIFA's prince because FIFA takes care of everything, right? But he's definitely the Ballon d'Or or the journalist's favorite person, okay? And that's what I meant in my disclaimer. But the video, sort of the numbers, my second best, video, obviously the #1 being the Top Boy video. But hopefully that it's gonna be a lot of controversial topics from here on out because me, I always like controversy. I always like fun things, and that's all about what Ball Till We Die podcast is about, man. And I'm only gonna give you that crazy stuff, bro. Because if I stick to the status quo, it ain't gonna go nowhere, bro. That's what I'm saying. So I'm keep on posting controversial stuff. Gonna keep on saying crazy things, and I hope y'all enjoy it because I don't give two F's, bro. Let's go. All right, now let's go to Tap In Merchant.
This is Tap In Merchant, your #1 source for updated sports-related news from the past week.
So on the first thing in Tap In Merchant I'm going to talk about is a very interesting topic. It's about Ivan Toney. Y'all know who Ivan Toney is, bro. Ivan Toney is the main talisman of Brentford for these past 2 seasons, obviously before his ban due to his betting. But word on the street is, not really on the street, I mean everybody knows about it, is that he's going to move out of Brentford. He's going to find a new club, new home, And people are saying Arsenal and Chelsea are in the runaway, with Manchester United not being too far behind. However, through reading some news, it seems that there are two things that that is being made clear. One is that Brentford don't seem to want to sell him, as mentioned by Thomas Frank, who is their manager. He said that he didn't really want to sell Ivan Toney. But there's also new news stating that it's still going on, and I think this is a Brentford's little ploy to sort of up the price of Ivan Toney, saying all this sort of stuff because I think they wouldn't mind a big bag for Ivan Toney. I mean, look at Brentford right now; they're doing pretty well. That money, whatever it might be, 100 mil, 80 mil, that's what they're saying, could definitely be used to buy some new players that can sort of help all around the team because of somebody like Ivan Toney. Brentford are doing relatively well in terms of putting up the points, scoring goals, and doing all of that even without their main talisman. So I think they could get they could definitely benefit off a pretty penny out here. Now, they're saying that they're disagreeing with Arsenal. They're disagreeing with Manchester United because they know the big money is coming from Chelsea. Now, Ivan Toney, people are saying 100 million. That's a lot of money, bro. But just so you know, this man scored 20 goals last season, 4 assists, and the season before that, 12 goals, 5 assists in the Prem. He's a baller, and everybody knows that. If you play FPL, you know how good Ivan Toney really is. So, in my humble opinion, bro, I think Ivan Toney will be a good player. He can definitely help out Chelsea. Nico Jackson, obviously, not doing too well in terms of scoring goals, putting them in. And I think Ivan Toney is already used to the Premier League game. Definitely could work out there in Chelsea, and he's always a baller, So if Chelsea end up making it, if Chelsea end up putting up the points and doing what needs to be done to get Ivan Toney, I think it's a good signing. Ivan Toney is a baller. And I think it's a win-win, Brentford could definitely use some help on defense, maybe around the midfield as well, maybe get a new striker as well. It doesn't have to be somebody that's costing up to 100 mil. It can definitely help out on all sides of the team. So, definitely a good move for both teams if it does end up pulling through. But Ivan Toney, is he worthy of 100 mil, 80 mil? With today's market, I would say so. 20 goal per season sort of scorer. If you play the season, you probably score the same amount, especially with how good players such as Mbuemo, Matthias Janssen, and everybody within the Brentford team are playing. They could definitely benefit with Ivan Toney on the team. All right, next in line. The NBA in-season tournament has begun, and it's a lot of fun, bro. Just some things that have been popping out. Golden State Warriors versus OKC. I think that was the game of the night. Everybody's been posting in SportsCenter, House of Highlights, and I gotta agree, bro. That game was really fun because a lot of people balled out, man. Dario Saric was going crazy in that first half. He was going crazy. He was putting up the numbers. He didn't seem like he was gonna miss. And it wasn't even just Saric, bro. From the other side, OKC, we got Lou Dort, man. Lou Dort, I don't think he missed a 3. Like, he was going crazy that game. Let me just double check just so I don't look like an idiot. But, he was playing really well. And if you see the highlights of the game, you could definitely see a lot of Lou Dort, posting up big numbers. There we go. 29 points and 5 rebounds, bro. This is like some, goddamn, he's scoring out of his mind right now. Yeah, 6 for 6, 3-pointer. Lou Dort played out of his mind. 29 points for Lou Dort, and for Dario Saric, he got also a clean 20 points, bro. Hey, shout out to those two, man. Might not be the big names in their team, but they definitely played well. However, the big thing that actually occurred that night was the little Draymond Green incident where he was set to tip the ball in. A lot of people said that Draymond, that was a definite tip-off, and the NBA refs are, they're geeking, bro. They're going crazy. They're saying some crazy stuff. But it does make sense for them to call it for why it would be considered a goaltend. But why they decided to take it off was because I think Josh Giddey sort of touched the rim first. And so that's the reason why it was allowed in, because obviously, even if Draymond did touch the ball, it was Josh Giddey's hands first caught there, so therefore it wasn't considered a goaltend. However, with the whole theatrics of the NBA, this whole in-season tournament and everything, it's all about the fun and the hype. If they let it out to go for a fourth quarter, for the overtime, I think both teams were in and up for it. So, hey, if you let it go for overtime, I think it would have been really fun to watch both teams go out again, man. 139, and 141, obviously, with the little Draymond Green tip in, bro. And with the little Curry floater that Draymond Green supposedly tipped in. But it was a fun game, man. And, last minute sort of thing. Same thing happened with with the Pacers game, man. Tyrese Halliburton with the dagger, NBA is really fun. Like, people were just talking all sorts of crap about, about the NBA and, about how the in-season tournament is sort of like, taking up everything, bro. But honestly, bro, the in-season tournament seems like a really fun thing. And, I wouldn't mind it at all, especially with how teams are playing, And the only issue for me with this in-season tournament is obviously the courts, bro. They're bad, bro. It looks like, back in those Troy Dan 2K17, 2K18 games where, you could like edit the court in my team. And there was just like, these purple courts with like faces and all these weird little things. It looks exactly like that, bro. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I'm not saying it's a good thing either. I like the ingenuity, the creativity of, how some of these courts are made. But it's just really weird to see. And, it looks like a volleyball court, honestly. The NBA gotta, going back to the hardwood is okay. It's okay to play in the normal courts and stuff like that, It's okay to do that type of thing, and still call it an in-season tournament. You don't gotta change the entire goddamn court, because for us fans, sometimes it's hard to see, especially all those colors, in play. So that's the only issue, but I think in terms of general funness, definitely really fun. And shout out NBA for putting that out. Okay, next in line. Marcus Rashford apology. So I saw a TikTok yesterday. It was really funny. It was about how Marcus Rashford changes his play and style of play and game based on him and his girlfriend. He got back with her last season, went out, went crazy. I think he was honestly, if Haaland didn't break all the records, he was up there definitely as one of the best Premier League players last season. This season, bro, Rashford is not doing too well. And on top of that, after the derby, there was an incident where he went out, and obviously all he needs to do was apologize for that. But, Marcus Rashford, but these sort of little things, they just all add to the whole mystique and drama about about Manchester United, bro. Manchester United are not, looking like the Manchester United of old, of even last season or a few seasons ago, and I don't know, and I think it's just the whole mystique of that team, I think it looks like almost as if they're cursed, like Manchester United are just cursed, full of bad players and weird people popping up in the wrong situations and the right situations, and drama on and off the pitch, Marcus Rashford definitely being the cherry on top because he was their superstar last season, and now he's having these issues off the field as well, having to apologize for Erik ten Hag, who we will be talking about later in the doghouse, because I wanna talk about exactly what his thing is with the team, and I just think Rashford needs to bring back up his form. We all know what he's capable of. We all know who he is. We all know who he is off the court as well. I mean, what he got that knighthood for, in the UK, what he got that for, and his play as well. To see him like this is kind of sad, and I just think it all boils down to that whole mystique of the Manchester United team. Obviously, we hope Rashford does well with everything going on in his life, but he's gotta leave all that behind, F that girlfriend thing, and use that as motivation, bro. You done break up with your girlfriend, bro. Use that as motivation, bro, to go and score more and to go crazy, bro. You don't need no girl, man. Fuck them hoes, bro. You know what I'm saying? F them hoes, bro. Just key in, focus in, tunnel vision, and it's what you gotta do, and that's the ball out from Manchester United, bro. And, that's what's gonna do you well, bro. But F them hoes, honestly, bro. Put your mind in the right thing. All right, next thing in line. Inter Miami, Big Four. News and rumor on the mill is that Luis Suarez is set to join Inter Miami, joining Sergio Busquets, Jordi Alba, and of course the Prince of FIFA, Lionel Messi. And hey, man, I like it, bro. Vizca Barca, Vizca Barca, Vizca Catalunya. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's back. They're back, bro. They're back, and Inter Miami is about to pop out, go crazy in the MLS, and the MLS gonna get numbers, and everybody loves the US, and I think it's good. They're all in their primes. They're all past their primes, but it looks like when they come back to the Inter Miami, the level of play went down, so they are able to still play in a relatively good level, and it's just good to see that the Barca boys are back together. Definitely something that I'm really happy to see. And shout out MLS for bringing all that together. Shout out David Beckham as well. Amazing documentary, bro. But I just gotta say that this whole thing with the Inter Miami bringing back the Barca and bringing back life to MLS. Me personally, I'm a big MLS fan, bro. I love US sports, as y'all know. And MLS is definitely one of those sports that I feel is really underrated because of the whole soccer versus football thing. I feel like there's this really big negative stigma towards U.S. people for calling it soccer and for saying all this bad stuff about it. And, pages like BR Football, who seem to glorify American football. Sorry, American players who play international football. And it's all this negative thing about it. But you know what? If you look past all that, the MLS is definitely a good league for players to sort of play their last years in. They still play in a relatively good level, as we've seen with Henry, with Beckham, Robbie Keane, all these players. And now, with the return of Lionel Messi and the Barca boys, definitely something that is really good. They've got really good publicity, sport plays, and they really bring up the name of football in the American scheme. America is a big market, and for them to start tapping into international football as of late. Shout out MLS and shout out Speed as well. I show Speed. People are gonna hate me when I say this, but I show Speed is definitely one of the main reasons why international football is such a big thing right now. Why people know Ronaldo. Why people know the likes of Lionel Messi. Because back then everybody, of course, international football has the most fans in the world, but America is another market. However, their marketing, their social media play, everything in there is really big and really nice. And for that to sort of merge in together because of Speed and bringing out all the young fans towards international football, I think we should give him his flowers, bro, for doing that. Even if it's a bit cringy and all the eyes show meat and everything, and he definitely really brings about that name for international football. So shout out him, shout out Speed, and shout out MLS for making this happen. Next thing, Clippers Big Four. James Harden stating that he is the system. I am the system, he said. Yeah, bro, you definitely is a system. Maybe 2018? Yeah, maybe 5-6 years ago. Maybe you was a system, bro. But as of recent, I don't know, man. The Clippers, bro, they got Russ, they got Kawhi, they got PG, they got Harden, bro. 4 people who are, I would say, ball dominant. They have the capability of putting up 40 a night. And PG is always gonna be that perennial all-star for the team, but I don't know, man. It's a lot. It's really weird. There's four primary ball handlers, and then Ivica Zubac, as a 5th guy. I don't know if it's gonna work out, bro. I don't know. It looks good on paper. I mean, all these big teams, they always look good on paper, and then you realize that maybe it doesn't really pan out. I feel like in the NBA, a lot of people are thinking about trios, thinking about, big threes, big fours, where in actuality, I think the way to go is a big 2. Giannis, Dame. Giannis and Dame. You got Giannis and Dame. You got AD and Bron. You probably see Austin Reeves being the 3rd guy, but in actuality, those are the championship-winning Jamal Murray, Nikola Jokic, sort of, these duos. They're the ones that actually, bring about that winning culture. I feel, and I feel like they say that a lot. Like two's company, three's a crowd, right? It's too many people when it's already trios, and you're talking about quadruple, 4 of them. Ball dominant guys. I don't think it's gonna work out, bro. And yeah, Harden's saying that I am the system, bro. I mean, listen, bro, you sound cool if you actually won some rings. You know what I'm saying? But don't take this away from Harden, bro. Harden was a multiple time MVP. Should have probably won it more. I don't know. He was averaging 60, 10, and 10. Like Luka before Luka. I mean, it's crazy to say that now, but this was a guy averaging 60, 10, and 10 before everybody. He was putting up my player numbers, for God's sake. And just couldn't, get it through. And now they're in the Clippers Big Four after his interesting stretch with, all these little teams that he's been joining. Let it be the Sixers or whoever, the Nets and everything. Just didn't really work out. Harden, he was the system, bro, but not anymore. And I think that these Big Four gotta learn to share the ball, gotta learn to to play, and who's holding the ball most of the time. Put that primary ball handler next to the secondary ball handler. Let Kawhi and PG take up the shots. Maybe Russ take up point, and then Harden go secondary or something, or maybe vice versa. I don't know. But all I'm trying to say is it's you're not the system, bro. And the Clippers Big Four are not looking it right now. Sticking with the duos conversation, definitely. In other sports, Rangers take it all. They win the World Series. Shout out Corey Seager, bro. Did it with the did it with the Dodgers, and now he's doing it with the Rangers, man. I think that it's a good thing that one of the Texas teams won. Not the Astros, obviously, not the Astros, right? But the Rangers did what they had to do to win it. And it's just really good and nice to see a new team actually win it. I think it's their first in franchise history. So really refreshing, really nice, and shout out Texas, man. They always ball out. They always got something new. And I think for the future, definitely Texas is one of those teams that teams within the country that's got something good for them. You know what I'm saying? With the likes of San Antonio Spurs getting Wembanyama, Luka Doncic on the rise, playing for the Dallas Mavericks. You know what I'm saying? Texas got some good things going on with them. And shout out Rangers for winning the World Series. And now, I'm going to talk about American football, bro. About certain George Pickens complaining, saying, free me. Twitter, oh my God, the old, free me, bro. They always do that, man, football players, bro. And, as much as, it's okay to do that, on Twitter and everything, I just think it adds to the drama of the team. So it's gonna be problems. I mean, I'm a George Pickens owner, bro. In fantasy, bro got -2 yards. That hurts. And I put him in my flex spot. Oh my God, what a horrible decision, bro. Never doing that again. Hopefully DK Metcalf somehow pulls it out, man. And Terry McLaurin, I don't know, man. I did horrible in the draft. But yeah. Free me, I just think it adds a lot of, drama to that team. Obviously, we get it. Like, this whole Marquise Brown story, with Lamar. Free me, bro. Free me. Pass me the ball. You know what I'm saying? And at that time, it seemed, reasonable because we all knew Marquise Brown was a baller. Marquise Brown could catch the ball. We all know George Pickens could catch the ball too. But, going in and looking at it now, it's the acoustic, bro. It's bringing back those, Kai Jones sort of, antiques. You're just trying to do too much. And it just adds to the whole drama of the team. We don't need all that, bro. Honestly. Get open, Start, start talking to your QB. Hey, listen, I'm open, bro. Just pass me the ball. I got you, bro. Don't say free me on Twitter. They gotta make the QB look bad. And Kenny Pickett, as much as he's looked at as an L quarterback, he can ball out, and he has a potential to, and he's still growing, bro. If you give him the confidence as a wide receiver, that, hey, bro, I got you. Just pass me the ball next time. I got you, bro. That's gonna give him a good headspace. But now you're telling him, free me. You're telling the organization, free me, bro. Oh my God, bro. It's just too much. And listen, look what happened to Marquise Brown the other day. He got kicked out of the team, bro. Well, not really kicked out, but what I'm saying, he got moved out. And George Pickens, that could be you next, and maybe that's what he wants as well. But what I'm saying, it's just really toxic to be talking like that. Keep it to yourself, bro. Social media should be used for funnies, should be used for interesting stuff, or putting out a point. Maybe say free Palestine or whatever. Those sort of things, they do well, but saying free me, that just really destroys the whole team narrative, team culture, team spirit, looking like Manchester United out here, bro, doing all this off the field stuff. I mean, George Pickens, stick to the ball, bro. Ball out, talk to Talk to your QB. Tell him what he needs to improve on, what you got to do as a team to improve. Shout out Deontay Johnson though for getting his first touchdown in I think almost 700 days, bro. That's a big one for him. But anyways, that aside, bro. I'm not saying shut up and dribble. I'm not saying shut up and catch the ball. All I'm saying is use your platforms wisely, as they can have negative effects and consequences. And me, who am I? I'm just a fan, right? Like, who am I to say all this stuff? I'm a podcaster, bro. I see things from outside we see things when, hindsight's 2020. We're those people. We see things from outside. We see the situation unfold before our eyes. When it's not you making the decision. And I think we, even as much as you can say, oh, you're not an athlete. What do you know? You know what I'm saying? I think we've got a relatively good idea as well of how to give advice to people in terms of what they should and should not do. For example, Kai Jones, he should not be doing that. And I think it's not only us. I think people in your team would agree too, bro. All right, obviously he's not listening to my podcast, bro. No one does, but hey, we keep it up, man. All right, now we're gonna move on to the doghouse. Let's go.
This is the Dogfight, a place where Hugoman gives his opinions about the internet's most heated topic.
Now, the first thing that I want to talk about is a certain man by the name of Erik ten Hag. Is Erik ten Hag the right man for the job? I don't know, bro. He lost again. He lost again. Let me see. I think it was a League Cup game. Was it FA Cup or something? They lost, bro. It was the EFL Cup, FA Cup. They lost again 3-0 against Newcastle. They lost 3-0 against Manchester City. They won 1-0 against Copenhagen. They lost 1-2-1. They won, but then before that they lost against Galatasaray. I don't know, bro. Manchester United are a team that should be put on a high pedestal. And Erik ten Hag are making them seem like a bunch of buffoons, honestly, bro. Losing 3-0 back to back, bro. Once against your rivals, and two against a team that just got big money, bro. Like, what are you doing? Manchester United, what are you doing, bro? It's not looking too good. And, you can blame the players all you want. Oh, Anthony is this. Oh, Sancho is this. Oh, this and that. Or whatever. You look at the manager, bro. He is the guy holding the team down together. He should be the one that y'all look at, bro. And Erik ten Hag is not performing up to the standard that Manchester United need to be in. That is saying it right now. And, there are talks of adding, somebody new to... There are talks of adding De Zerbi to the team, who is the Brighton manager. It says here right now, Transfer News Live, prospective new Manchester United investor Sir Jim Ratcliffe plans to replace Erik ten Hag with Brighton boss Roberto De Zerbi if he completes a deal to buy 25% of the Old Trafford club. And listen, De Zerbi has an interesting style of play that I think works in Manchester United. Obviously, using the wingers a lot. Playing the wing backs. Using them to their maximum potential. I think De Zerbi has a good chance of being a better manager 100% than Erik ten Hag. So, is Ten Hag the right man for the job? I don't think so. As of right now, he's not proving it. He has to do something these next two games. And these next two games for Manchester United are much more favorable. They play against Fulham today, 12:30, and they play against Copenhagen and then Luton Town and then Everton. These next few games are definitely gonna show, does Ten Hag have the grit? I think if he loses 2 of these games, Ten Hag out, bro. Ten Hag out. And if it's not already time to say Ten Hag out if he loses 2 games, bro. He's gotta bring his A game back up on the team. And as much as people don't like Manchester United, obviously, I think they have a team full of stars, and goes back to the thing of talking about Manchester United egos. And I think if Ten Hag is not the right man for the job, hopefully Sir Jim Ratcliffe takes over at some point. De Zerbi puts in, and I think he can definitely do some crazy things with Manchester United. But right now, Ten Hag is not it, bro. You better perform. You better start performing, bro. If not, it's gonna look really bad on your resume and on everything, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not looking too good for you right now, bro. And I think you should definitely shake it up. Bring back, do something good, with that team, because you've got a lot of good players. And as a manager, you have to control egos, And I think Erik ten Hag, brought in all those Ajax players because he knew how to control them, how to talk to them. But all the other guys, bro, you gotta learn how to do that as well. Losing 3-0 back-to-back is unacceptable, and losing at all in these next few games is gonna be really bad for you. So Erik ten Hag, you're on thin ice, bro. You're not looking like the right man for the job, and maybe it's time to change it up with somebody else. All right. Now, NBA top 5. So I just tweet a few days ago a few days ago or this morning, I forgot, talking about who everybody's NBA top 5 should be right now. The guy said Jokic, Luka, KD, Curry, and Booker. And I mostly agree with this, and except I don't fully agree with it. Obviously, I think people like Jokic, Luka, KD, they deserve a shout out, bro. But there are other guys out there, I'm saying, Giannis, Bron, that aren't in this list. And for me, the top 5 right now, I think, is gonna be a little bit different, bro, than what that guy definitely said right now, bro. So, I'm saying, I definitely think that it can definitely be changed up, I'm saying, in terms of who exactly is gonna be in that lineup, bro. And I think you might agree with me. So, all right, I think Jokic definitely in there, okay, and I think Luka definitely in there. I think KD could be in there. So we're gonna do this, all right. So it's gonna be Luka in point, KD in shooting guard, small forward gonna be Giannis Antetokounmpo, power forward Joel Embiid, and center definitely Nikola Jokic. I don't have Curry. Oh, that's crazy. Curry's been balling out, right? As talked about before, but I think that's a top 5 that you can't put Giannis and Embiid out. You can't put those two out, bro. Those two are really good for the team. So you can't be putting Jokic and so you can't be putting Giannis and Embiid out of that, because Embiid was last year's MVP, and Giannis is always gonna be the number 1 guy. NBA top 5 right now. If you're talking right now this season, that could possibly be, but I think for throughout the season, that's gonna be the top 5, bro. It's gonna be Luka, KD, Giannis, Luka, KD, Giannis, Embiid, and Jokic. And let's see who puts a better performance out of the 5 than as what this guy mentions, bro. And I think it's gonna be throughout the whole season. And even if you put it on a 5v5 format, bro, my team is gonna scrape everybody's team, bro. KD on the shooting guard and Luka as a point. That's a dangerous lineup, bro. You know what I'm saying? But everybody else after that, bro, I think that right now those are the guys that gotta be. I mean, everybody's playing. A lot of people are playing really well, bro. I mean, even Cam Thomas. I was lucky to see Cam Thomas actually a few days ago in Brooklyn, bro. He's gonna be one of those guys, bro. He's gonna be him. Off the bench, bro, is averaging 30 points. I think 30 points, 33 points a game. That's crazy, bro. And what I'm saying? I saw him play. He was really good. He was a really, really good scorer. Definitely one of those guys that we got to talk about. Right now, I think he's got a place to be in a team starting. And yeah, I think it's gonna be really interesting to see how he develops into a bona fide star, because he's got that potential definitely. And yeah, for sure, somebody that I really enjoy watching. So shout out Cam Thomas, bro. But yeah, my starting 5: Jokic, Giannis, Embiid, Luka, KD. Let's go. Next one line. Let's talk a bit about a certain Victor Wembanyama. I talk about this guy almost every week, let's be honest. I mean, he always pops up with something new every week, bro. And let's just talk about a few things in line. So, first of all, the Rookie of the Year debate. So, I made my prediction. I said Wemby was going to win it. I think Wemby has a good chance still. I think Chet Holmgren is scary. Chet Holmgren is really freaking scary, bro. 7 blocks. I think that was already tying him as one of the most in franchise history. As not even as just as a rookie in franchise history, bro. For most blocks in the game, 7 freaking blocks for OKC, bro. He's really dangerous, and he proved it once again last night playing against Golden State. Chet Holmgren, 24 points, 5 assists, 8 rebounds. Definitely one of those guys that you should watch out for, man. And I think Wemby also has, that little, like storyline narrative in his. He's got narrative. He's got so what's it called again? Plot armor. I think plot armor. That's what it's called. In his side, obviously, he's gonna probably win based on that alone. But definitely, Chet Holmgren is a really scary runner-up. And honestly, right now, if you were to ask me purely on objectivity, who's gonna be Rookie of the Year, I couldn't tell you because they're both playing like dogs right now, bro, and they're playing really well. On the other hand, though, we got Scoot Henderson, who isn't playing well at all. Scoot Henderson, he's not playing horribly. He's doing decent, I guess, but definitely not what we expected of him. We expected him to be like young Westbrook, bro, jump out the building, go crazy, and we're just not seeing that right now. Where is this athleticism that people talk about? People rave about Scoot Henderson's elite athleticism, and we're not seeing any of that. On the other hand, talking about elite athleticism, we can go to another rookie who people bash, who people talk crap about, who people hated. Brandon Miller, bro. He just dunked all over Isaiah Stewart after they was going back to back. Now that's somebody we should talk about, bro. He is the definition of a guy who can take all that hate, or maybe doesn't even listen to it, and just balls out. He's playing really well. As that Charlotte Hornets, and people talking about crap about him being, that 3rd overall pick. That third overall pick, he deserves that. About him being, the 2nd overall pick in front of Scoot. He's playing like he deserves to be in front of Scoot, bro. That guy is playing really well, and definitely up there in rookie of the year contention. Definitely not in the level of Chet and Wemby, but maybe there's a 3rd place slot. I think definitely Brandon Miller could be part of that. And obviously Wembanyama I think is still number 1. He just dropped 38, he's averaging 20 points, I think 10 rebounds, 4 assists, and he's going really crazy. And not to mention the his block party out there, and here's the one thing I hate about the most, though. Shout out Jeff on Sports for bringing this topic out about, players playing alongside Wembanyama, not giving him the ball enough, hating on people like Jeremy Sohan. I don't think it's anybody's. I don't think it's a player's fault. I think Pop's got sorted out how he wants his team to be. I think this is also as an experimental thing. Like they're trying to see whether or not Jeremy Sohan can be Ben Simmons, whether or not Jeremy Sohan can be, that sort of big point guard that can bring out the ball, score inside and make plays for Wembanyama. And honestly, it doesn't look like he could be that guy. Jeremy Sohan was slated to be Dennis Rodman. He was slated to be, that Draymond Green sort of player, that secondary ball handler who's a big man and plays right behind the primary ball handler, who I think should be Trey Jones. So and in terms of like making the shots as well, people always complain about you don't get Wembanyama the ball enough, bro. The Spurs are passing all they can to him. They're even throwing out these crazy ass lobs that nobody else in the league would be able to catch. Only to Wembanyama, bro. And they're always complaining about how he's not getting the ball enough. It's because he's the main superstar. Obviously, you want to see the superstar ball out. They gave that show to him. 38 points on which means that he shot the ball a lot that game. And yeah, I think the Spurs have to sort of play it out, test it out, which works and what doesn't. Obviously, they're 3-2, so they're doing okay, right? Obviously, right off the bat, with Jeremy Sohan playing point, I think we can see I think me personally, I do believe that a good lineup would be Trey Jones at point, then Vassell, then KJ, then Jeremy, and then Wemby at center. But then again, Zach Collins also balling out, so we have to see how this works out. But I think that's a good starting lineup for of 5 players, because let's be honest, bro. Jeremy Sohan, as much he's a really good player, good defender. Doesn't shoot the ball as well, but people hate on him just because he's playing behind Wemby. I think he gets too much hate. He's a really good player, bro, and he deserves to get some slack, because they're trying out something new, obviously. And I think in the point guard role, they're saying he's horrible. He's not horrible, bro. He's okay. He gets the ball out. He used to get 2 assists a game. Now he's getting about 5 a game. I think he's definitely okay, and he can definitely improve on that. But we'll see, I guess. Obviously, if they're still winning, like we did with the Suns, I think that's okay if we include Jeremy Sohan in that role. But then again, if you go to the one that I mentioned about that better starting 5, hey, could definitely do some good things for the team. And definitely, I agree with Jeff on sports. Jeremy Sohan should be put as a secondary ball handler, sort of Draymond Green type player that can facilitate, but also focus on defense and guards against the bigs in those positions. And Trey Jones should be put in the starting lineup. I agree with that as well. Okay, and I think that is enough for today's episode. I think we had. Okay. And now I'm gonna talk about some funsies, bro. Yeah, some like non-sports related topics. We gonna talk about who won Halloween as a celebrity this year. We got some really cool stuff, bro. I saw Ice Spice, Betty Boop, and then we saw LeBron as Beetlejuice. It's really weird, and he showed off his hairline, bro. That's crazy. But I think the winner of this year's Celebrity Halloween, bro, aside from, Victor definitely. Oh my God, I think Victor is definitely on top of there. Victor became Slenderman. Everybody was talking about how he looked like Slenderman. He actually became Slenderman, bro. That was really good. But yeah, no. It looks like I'm riding on Wembanyama too hard, bro. Definitely not trying to be like flat out here. But yeah, I think DDG wins. DDG and Halle Bailey, bro. Congrats on them as well for getting pregnant. But them as Tupac and them as Tupac and Janet Jackson was really cool. I think that's definitely big contender of number 1 outfit of the year. I think it would have been better if Halle became Jada Pinkett Smith. Got on bald cap. Became her. I think that would have been really funny. And DDG's as much as a rapper and how cool he is and stuff like that. He started out as an internet personality. Bro, if you did that, you would have definitely won Halloween. But I think even without it, they definitely did good on that. Definitely deserves a good spot on that. So yeah, I think definitely DDG and Halle Bailey did really well this year. But honestly, you tell me, who do you think won Halloween this year? And I think definitely it was. To some extent DDG and Halle Bailey. Okay, and moving on, I also watched recently FNAF, the final movie, and as a guy who grew up on, those Scott Cawthon games, I watched Matt Pat and to see him in the movie. That was really cool. Markiplier, everybody playing the game. It was really fun to see. It was really refreshing and nice to see that that sort of movie. The movie was sort of weird, I guess. I don't know. It was really weird. Some parts were just really interesting, but I think the movie was good enough to the point where it made me smile in a few episodes. But yeah, there were some really weird parts sometimes. I think in the movie the acting was really interesting. Elizabeth Leo, usually a really good actress, just didn't see that in this movie. I think Josh Hutcherson did a good job, but Elizabeth Leo was interesting in some parts. She just didn't act it out like in You season 1. I think she really played the role of Hope. I think her name was Hope. Yeah, really well. But yeah, other than that, bro, I was sort of disappointed to see Elizabeth Leo act that way. And also, I think the actor of Shaggy, I think he did it over the top sometimes, and seeing him play the main antagonist. I think, but that was I think it was a good thing actually, because we saw some old Shaggy in there. That was really nice to see. So yeah, I mean, that was really funny, and I think the movie was solid 5 out of 10. It was a good horror movie. A few jump scares, not that scary, but it was definitely good as it brought out some, definitely some old memories, maybe 6-7 years ago when the game first started out, and I was scared. I was in my room playing with my friends, and we was just scared at every jump scare, man. Definitely something that was really interesting, and definitely a movie that if you want to bring those old childhood memories out, I think it's definitely one that you should watch. Okay, anyways, that's the wrap for today's episode. Short episode, make it quick, make it fun. We bring about just the best content for y'all. Always check out TikTok. Always check out my Instagram, as I'm always posting stuff there. And don't forget to watch the whole thing on YouTube. Shout out KSL Radio for giving me this platform once again. And I'll see y'all next week.
Thank you for listening to Ball Till We Die with Hugoman. We hope you enjoyed it and see you again next week.
Man, she dumb.